Smell us now, lady. Welcome to MeatEater Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. It's 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Phil's giggling again because I missed the exact timing of this intro, but oh well, we'll keep on going. 11 a.m. Mountain Time, that's 8 p.m. for our friends in Latvia. What up, Linda, Kaspars, everybody else? It's Thursday, August 28th, and we're live from MeatEater headquarters in a fall like Bozeman, Montana. I'm your host, Janis Putelis, joined today by Randall, Big Randy Williams, and Brody of Carrie and the Hendersons, Henderson. That was a tongue twister. Like I said, it feels a lot like fall, and that has me fired up. The aspens are showing a sprinkling of yellow leaves. The high today is only 65 degrees. I heard a bugle last night. Ooh. Montana's archery season opens in 9 days, and my broadheads are flying true.
Oh, my.
Today on the show, we'll hear about my and Brody's recent trip to Alaska, an audio project called Hide Hunters, our favorite sounds from the outdoors, and a new trail camera photo contest. Rich Froning is phoning in to tell us about the hardest moment in CrossFit competition. And finally, we'll chat with MeatEater guest star Parker Hall about trapping feral pigs in Florida to save sea turtles. Boys, does it feel like fall to you, too?
It does, but, you know summer's coming back.
I know. I checked the weather today because this rain was unexpected, to me at least. I had not been checking the weather, and then yesterday and today, it's all like cool, rainy.
Yeah. Great weather for running in. I've been enjoying that.
I haven't done any running.
I'm just hoping that this puts an end to fire season.
Yeah, I didn't check that this morning either. Do you know if any of the fires were extinguished from yesterday's rain?
No idea. But thinking hopeful thoughts.
But are you guys jacked too? It's not quite September, but we're almost there.
Man.
You guys like, it's here, it's on?
Monday is grouse opener. We'll be out there, and that's like the official start. Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet.
You're not feeling it?
Well, I'm excited, but I don't feel like it's at the doorstep quite yet. We've got a little travel up ahead of us, and
his broadheads aren't flying true like yours.
Well, my broadheads are still hanging on the rack at a store somewhere because I'm just waiting to burn some powder.
I know. See, that's the thing. If you want to really get fired up at the end of August, you kind of got to be an upland hunter like Brody or an archery hunter. Now, you mentioned we're doing some traveling. We might as well get this out of the way. Randall and I are going to be in Columbus, Ohio on Saturday. Do you have the exact location handy?
I do not.
Well, while Randall's looking that up, we're doing the tailgate tour again, and Randall and I are going to be there for the Ohio State and Texas game on Saturday. Hanging out. So if you're in the area, go to the website. I'm sure you can get all the deets there on where to find us. Randall might have it pulled up here.
We will be at the Dublin Market at Bridge Park.
Okay, Dublin Market at Bridge Park. It's going to be early because the game starts at 11. So
we're going to start at noon. I'm sorry, we're going to start at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Kickoff's at noon.
So you've probably roughly got 2 hours to come and see us, 9 to 11, Saturday morning. Come and hang out. Tell me a hunting story. Take a picture. Whatever you want to do. We'd love to see you.
Does it say where I'm going to be where ours is on the 27th, Randall?
TBD on your location.
Right, we'll have to come back to that later.
Yep, we'll revisit that.
Brody, we got back. What has it been now? Has it been a week or two?
Two
already.
Almost
time
two.
flies.
Yeah.
We were at Fish Shack, Ranella's Fish Shack, on Prince of Wales Island. Randall, you've been there for a bear hunt.
I have.
Brody, you've
Lovely
been there
place.
a whole bunch with your family. This is the first time I took my family there. My biggest worry going into this one was like how my kids, my girls, were going to deal with
Steve?
A little bit, but they've been around him enough. They've kind of grown up with him that they kind of know what to expect, and they get I coach them on how to deal with that too, you know? And so that's not too big of a deal because they've been around him. But no, the Southeast Alaska's sort of constant rain, the constant 55-degree temperature that's really not warm, not cold, but it's like if you're wet in those temps, it can be uncomfortable.
Long day.
Yeah, and you're always wet even when it's not raining.
Totally. The living conditions up there, it's not unsanitary or anything, but it's very sparse.
Well,
it is a shack.
When I was up there, I couldn't get all of the mink shit off my bed that I was sleeping in.
That's the danger of
most of the mink shit, but I couldn't get all of it.
Yeah, because you were probably the first one there for the season, so you had to deal with all that. Luckily, we were there after all that had been taken care
Each
of.
consecutive group just scrapes off a little more mink shit, and by the time you're the last group, like us, no more mink shit.
Yep.
But last group, man, I would rather be the first group. I've only done that like once, maybe twice.
You would rather be a middle group.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
The reason we're saying that, like middle, like there's actually 4 owners of the fish shack, and so there's a period of probably a span of maybe close to 2 months, roughly.
Yeah, 6 weeks. Yeah.
And the first group comes, you got to do the job of opening the place up,
which isn't bad.
But then there's like group 2, 3, and 4 who like get to just roll in, do their thing, and leave. Now, there's work to be done for every group, but the opening and then the shutting the place down is like, it takes a day. It took us a day to shut the place down on our way out.
Because you're pulling motors off boats and
it's back
getting the water lines all cleared out.
Yeah.
But to finish my original thought here is I was worried about my girls and how they were going to do there. My wife, I know she's going to be fine. No big deal. They exceeded expectations. Not only did they never once even kind of talk about the weather. Like I don't think they talked about the rain. The adults are bitching about the rain, but the kids like don't bring it up.
No.
They're just like, whatever, man. We put our slickers on and we're going. And that was my big
or
thing
not
too.
Put them on and just run around wet.
Yeah, and then my girls, I'm like, you girls are gonna learn a lesson. Brody's like, I told you. Brody gets after his kids when they're making mistakes like running around without raincoats. But anyways, the kids excelled. They didn't give a shit about the rain, and that water is roughly what? 50?
In the 50s.
In the 50s. Those kids swam every single day of our trip.
Yep.
Ugh.
The water would come in, the tide would get high, and they would be in the cove just splashing around like they were at the beach in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Couldn't care about the temp.
Matty, he runs around in shorts and Crocs, like no rain gear. That kid's impervious to the weather. He's just like, it doesn't affect him.
My oldest received this prestigious Cock of the Cove award from Stephen Ranella.
Yep.
To put this in perspective, we actually have to plan when we're going to eat dinner, the rest of us, without Steve knowing. Because if you eat dinner, we were eating dinner kind of late, I felt like, a couple nights.
Oof.
And I was like, man, let's eat a little bit earlier. And Chef Andy Radulowski's like, yeah, sure, we can eat it earlier. But, and I didn't really get the but. I guess I wasn't listening. What happens, the next night we eat earlier. We're done at like 7. There's like 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours of kind of some light left. Well, everybody else wants to like play bananagrams and have another beer. Stephen Ranella is like looking out the window and he's like, whoa, we got plenty of time to dig a hole. We're going to carry some rocks. And we're going to chain one of the big rocks in the hole. Then we're going to cover up the hole and to chain it to my new floating dock. And everybody's kind of looking around like, he's like, who's with me? No one raises a hand. So that's the problem with eating too early. So after that, we were really precise that when we finished eating, there would not be quite enough time to get another chore done. It could just be a little bit of relaxation and time for bed.
Yeah, that was like, we had never done the eating early before.
You never tried it?
No, it's always like you eat and go to bed, which like it's a long day, but it doesn't leave any time for. You just eat, go to bed.
Okay, I've said this to let you all know that when you're at Ranella's Fish Shack, and I'd like to know if you had the similar experience, but there's work to be done. There's like shack improvement projects that are ongoing. There's just general upkeep of engines and like you name it. And then there's the daily stuff just to keep yourself alive, cooking and eating and cleaning up after yourself and all that stuff. Well, the Cock of the Cove gets the award when like you're always Johnny on the spot. You're raising your hand when at like 6 p.m. no one else wants to go pull shrimp pots. Steve's like, we're going to pull shrimp pots. Who wants to go? You raise your hand. Or dinner's over, everybody else is chilling, rubbing their bellies, adjusting their belts. There's a lot of dirty dishes. You get up and start doing the dishes, right? That sort of stuff. Oh, you got to make another run back from the boats to get more bait. I'll go run back to get more bait, right? Well, my daughter, very proud of her. She chipped in and was crushing it, and Steve awarded her Cock of the Cove.
It's well deserved.
Does that entitle her to any sort of liberties the next time around, or diminish?
No, your slate is cleared.
Just sort of an honorary. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back and move on.
Yep. Yeah, my kid Hayden was awarded Chief Fillet Officer.
Oh, that's a prestigious
CFO.
honor.
Yeah, he was after it this year.
Yeah. Randall, when you were there, did you feel like you worked your ass off?
Not really. We didn't do a ton of projects because we were filming. And so the focus was on like getting stuff done.
That's interesting because usually, even when I've been up there in the past filming, Steve will be like, "Okay, we did 8 hours of filming. Now let's do 4 hours of manual labor."
Yeah, we were a little under the gun until I killed my bear, and then it was like because we had 2 bear tags to fill, and so the first 2, we flew in, couldn't hunt, and we had a day where we didn't. Steve and I chased a couple, didn't get an opportunity. Then we had a day where it just rained all night and all day, and bears didn't come out. Steve and I sat in the rain. So at that point, there was a little bit of anxiety.
I see.
But when I was up there, I just sort of decided that I was going to fill the generator.
That was going to be your duty.
Which brought me back to my days working in Alaska, just filling fuel cans and pouring them in things. And I felt like that was a solid contribution.
You got to keep the Jenny running.
Yeah.
Nothing worse when
Yeah,
you're
we had
sitting there.
generator problems this year.
Oh my gosh, we had all kinds of mechanical problems. Anything else you want to mention about our great trip?
No, I mean Seth and I kind of talked fishing up there last week?
Mm-hmm.
So
You covered off on this a little bit already.
Off.
Covered off on how Seth kept taking out Randall's kids, and Randall's kids would catch giant halibut.
Well, yeah, I let people know if you want to get a big halibut, you get in Seth's boat.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Did you let people know that Steve missed the gaff shot the harpoon shot on your wife's big fish?
I can't remember if we talked about that. I think we may have, and he didn't miss it. The halibut dodged the harpoon.
Yeah, according to Ranella,
sure.
I don't think he's come forward with his story yet.
No.
He should discuss it on a future MeatEater podcast episode. But I once was just ridden to hell.
I was there.
About why am I missing that word? A harpoon throw. I had never done it. I didn't realize. I thought it was kind of like a hi-ya, you just throw it. No, you gotta put it in there and you gotta let him eat.
I got to harpoon the big one that Steve caught, and it was one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. Because I'm a big Moby Dick guy. And I also, when I was guiding up there, netting a big king is a pretty intense situation, because the one end of the fish is going to be hanging out of the net, and if it's not the ass end, that thing's going to swim away. So it brought me back again to the pressure of getting that fish in the boat. But a harpoon, it's just something very romantic about it.
Yeah, Carrie
and I got
had
one good
on
shot, and I got it.
And you
nailed it. But the film crew was beachcombing at the time, so it didn't make it into the episode. My crowning achievement. Yeah, I know.
Oh man!
But they found something cool on the beach, I think. I don't remember
what
it
they
was.
say, Randall. If it didn't happen on camera, it didn't happen.
I know.
Yes, Carrie's fish somehow got wrapped up in the anchor line.
Well, I mean, it's
they kind of got that freed up.
But she wasn't even in the boat with Steve.
No,
everything was cool.
Oh, it was?
Everything was cool. The halibut was coming up, and here comes Steve, jumps in their boat, and that's when chaos ensued.
You're kidding.
That's how
He
it
is
went
always
down.
the common denominator.
That's great.
Why did he feel like he needed to jump in the boat?
Because he really wanted Carrie to get that thing. It wasn't like you're doing it. I don't think it was like, oh, you guys are doing something wrong. He wanted her to get it.
Sure. And
He wanted it too much.
And it'll help if I'm in the boat with you.
Yeah. Look, man, like it's fun to like point the finger, but shit goes wrong with those big ones all the time.
Extremely fun. Yeah, no, we lost more big ones
Yeah.
that week than we landed. 100%. Especially when you got like kids that are around 10 years old, plus or minus, whatever, a couple 3 years. And like you're kind of helping hold rod, reel rod, and you're like, I can feel the levity of the situation on that rod.
And that's the last fish you want to lose.
Yeah, and you're just like, Maddie, do the best you can, buddy. Speaking of hides, bear hides, you got one when you were up there, but you have a project about some hides you're working on.
Yes. The next edition of MeatEater's American History is available for pre-order right now, wherever you get your audiobooks. This is Volume 3, MeatEater's American History: The Hide Hunters, 1865 to 1883, where we dive into the industrial scale slaughter of the American buffalo, as Steve likes to say, in the period following the Civil War. It will be released officially on October 14th. So if you pre-order it now, it'll just be on your phone on October 14th, and you can give it a listen on your drive to hunting camp. Or
Can you give me a little snippet of like one of your favorite stories from this project?
Favorite stories. Well,
maybe a factoid that you found interesting.
So one of the more interesting things is there were several stories about skunks. One was a guy named Skunk Johnson, and these guys would build what they called dugout shelters. So they'd dig into the side of a stream bank, and he was famous for having a really big, elaborate one. And at one point, he was surrounded by a group of, I believe, Comanches, and he just was sort of stuck in there. He holed up like it was a siege, and he survived only by eating skunks.
Wow.
And then there was another guy who was bitten by a rabid skunk. There were like 2 or 3 guys bitten by rabid skunks, one of which he crawled under a watering station along the railroad tracks, like those big towers, I guess to get out of the sun, and he just died. He never left that place. He crawled under it and died. And then another guy was bitten by a rabid skunk, and when he felt one of the bouts of hydrophobia coming on, he took some of the strychnine that they used to poison the hides for scavengers, and he went out back and he swallowed a slug of strychnine and killed himself.
That's interesting, because I almost feel like you got to try to get bit by a rabid skunk.
I mean, it makes you wonder how many there were out there.
Yeah.
Fascinating
Well,
stuff. And then there's another guy that they think he got bit by a rabid skunk, but they don't know. The skunk either scratched him or bit him while he was sleeping. It got on his face.
I mean, if you're sleeping in a dugout cave in a stream bank along a stream, I mean, all those critters run those streams, and you're in there sleeping, and they just come in and whatever. You swat at it and get bit.
I think that's one of my more fascinating discoveries from the research is just 4 stories about skunks.
The thing I think is cool about it is like debunking the myth that these guys are like just bloodthirsty, like they're somehow doing it out of malice, and when actually it was like it was like a good job to have at the time.
Yeah, we get into that. I mean, in the larger context is like after the Civil War, there's just a lot of sort of restless veterans and displaced people, especially if their hometown had been destroyed in the South or whatever else. Like they come back from war and life doesn't go back to normal for them, so they head out west. And also, like the 1870s are a time of a lot of economic upheaval and businesses failing and bankruptcies and stuff like that. So, yeah, like there's a resource that's free for the taking, and it's understandable that these guys would go out there and try to make a living, especially if they're kind of predisposed to be like adventure seekers. So
I'm going to save listening to it. My daughter and I are road tripping to Wisconsin for the rifle season this year, and I'm going to save it for that.
perfect. It'll get you through.
I'm going to make or listen to
It'll
it.
get you through, I think, 6.5 hours of your drive, something like that.
All right.
So,
Well, that's like a third.
yeah, maybe get 400 miles out of it. That'd be good.
Totally. Let's see what else we got in our little chit chat section here. Shooting with the families. Brody and I went out and did a little plinking, set up some gongs. I need more stands for the gongs so we can have more distances
Yep.
and not have the same, like 2 gongs on one frame.
Yeah, get them dialing weird distances, like, in between distances. Yeah, we were just getting started. We didn't get quite as far along with the competition thing. We were I had a brand new rifle that had never been shot.
Yeah.
You guys should let me know. I'm just on the other side of the mountain.
I know. Well, I mean, I come back from doing one of these, and then there's always like, oh, I should have called Randall. I should have called, Mike, because he's got a kid that also wants to shoot. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, we were at the max amount of like how many guns can be going on at once.
Yeah.
It's different if it's all adults.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're trying to watch
Yeah.
kids that are shooting.
It can get hectic.
Yeah.
I don't need to shoot. I can just help. I can just be there to hear the bang.
Oh, okay. Well, then
That's all I need.
definitely we could use it.
Luckily,
next
we
time.
had some quiet bangs going on,
Yep.
at least until Janis broke out the rifle with the brake on it.
Man, it's like, yeah, the brakes are tough these days. But when you go to Canada, you gotta
Yep.
shoot brake. I will say it's funny how I told my girls going into it, I'm like, I would like you guys to try to shoot about a box or the whole box, 20 rounds apiece, however you want to do it. Well, they get through like 10, they've hit every gong, and they're kind of like, we've shot enough. I'm like, no, you haven't. We might
Yeah.
get to do this 1, maybe 2 times, but before we go on the youth hunt, like we need to shoot a bunch. And I'm like, okay, let's do a little competition. You got to hit 200, 300, 400, and then and then bring it back, and we're gonna time you, and every miss counts for 15 seconds or whatever. And as soon as that was down, all of a sudden everybody's like, all right, let me go at it. And then they each got another, whatever that was, 6 shots, 5 shots, quickly. And it's really good because that little bit of stress of that competition, that is what it's going to feel like when there's a buck and you have limited amount of time. And there's all of a sudden there's stress in the situation, self-induced usually when you're out hunting, right? But like there is that stress. But you can mimic that by doing a little bit of a competition. I think it's really good for any shooter. The kids get a lot out of it, but
That's great.
for any shooter, yeah. I got other stuff I'd love to tell you guys about. All right, one last thing. I promise, Phil. Phil's already like, this is going to be the longest
Phil, we got any chat going on?
Second longest episode. No,
Whoa,
listen,
Jesus.
Most of the chat is complaining that Janis won't shut the hell up.
no, they aren't. Are they really?
No, everyone's loving it. I'm just joshing.
All
you
right,
now.
this is great. Sunday morning, we're having breakfast, kind of a late brunchy breakfast, the family, and someone looks over and is like, holy, look at Mingus's leg. And on his like lower, I forget which front leg it's on. I think it's his left, but maybe 6 or 8 inches above his paw, big old gash, like 2 inches long, and it's kind of spread open like a solid inch, maybe more. I'm like, yee, like that looks bad. I'm kind of wondering like who's gonna be the one that takes him to the vet.
And just for like people who are listening, you kind of let him roam around and do his own thing.
yeah,
on your
we don't have
13
a
acres.
fence. We don't have a fenced yard. He wears his GPS collar every single day of his life, and then that way when he's not much of a roamer until it gets evening time and it cools off, and then all of a sudden he starts to roam.
I'm the same way.
And anyway, so it probably happened the evening before. No one noticed it. And then the next morning, like, hey, look at that. Well, all of a sudden, everybody else has somewhere to be. So I'm left with Mingus and his open wound, and they're like, take care of it. And I forget, I had to go somewhere too, so I didn't have that much time. But I take a picture, send it to my buddy Jake. I'm like, what would you do right now? He's like, yeah, it looks pretty fresh. I think you can just staple it up. I'm like, okay, I have bought the staple gun already. I'm prepared. It's sitting in my truck in case we have a mountain lion, mishap. And
It's like the first thing you need to buy when you're a houndsman.
a
GPS collar and a staple gun.
totally. And so I've got that. I watch a couple YouTube videos, irrigate it with, some warmed a hot saline solution, irrigate the hell out of it, maybe scrub it a little bit, and stapler shut, and you're on your way. And so I did that. I got to later we had to meet at a volleyball game for my oldest, and I'm like showing them pictures and telling them my story. They were incredulous. They were like, "You didn't do that? You went to the vet." I'm like, no. I like watched a YouTube video and stapled my dog up. It wasn't that hard. And they're looking at it and they're like, "Well, it looks pretty good, Dad." I'm like, well, like it wasn't that hard. But they were very much like,
Nice.
"Did you really do this?" And then later, though, I caught a lot of scrutiny about like, it's pussing a lot, maybe looks swollen. Are you sure you did it right? Anyways, I felt like I should be a vet.
Sure.
That's great.
After doing that, I'm like,
I've super glued a dog, but stapling. Like, did he squirm or yelp or?
he gave me like a false snap
Yeah.
Ooh.
when I irrigated.
Oh, okay.
But the staples, he barely flinched.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't anesthetize him.
Was it like
You didn't give him a
clean,
slug of
like
brandy?
sharp barbed wire kind of cut?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Especially in
Yeah.
that spot.
Yeah.
Classic.
And there's plenty of barbed wire on our property, So, all right. Thank you all for
That's the show, folks.
coming. We're halfway through. We're going to interview Rich Froning now. And this interview, this first one, is brought to you by none other than Mountain Ops. Whether you're training for the mountain or just trying to feel your best every single day, Mountain Ops has your back. Speaking of performance, we're joined today by one of the most accomplished athletes in the world of fitness, 4-time CrossFit Games champion, and the man often called the fittest on earth. You guys thought that was me, but no, we're talking about Rich Froning. And he's here bringing that all together in a brand new podcast called In Pursuit, where he's exploring how the grit of competition and the challenges of the wild connect to something deeper in all of us. Rich, welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. How are you?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Excellent.
We're doing great. Is
Good
it
to see
feeling, Rich, you're down in Nashville, correct?
A little bit east in Cookeville, but man, it feels like fall here, man. It's getting me fired up. Mornings are crisp, hot during the day, but it cools off pretty good at the evening. So, man, we just had velvet hunt this weekend. I didn't actually get to go out. I was in Texas, but seeing the pictures, man, it's getting me fired up.
Oh, man, I love to hear it. I thought you were going to tell me it's just been still hot as balls and it's still summertime, but it sounds like
humidity
fall's
dropped
there.
this week, and, man, it's just you walk outside expecting to just get knocked down by a wall of humidity, and there's none. It feels like fall.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Rich, can you give our listeners a quick behind-the-scenes peek and what inspired you to do the In Pursuit podcast? Like, what's going on with this podcast?
Yeah, man, it's just a good time, and it's just me nerding out and listening to some specialists in different areas, whether it's, we had Joel Turner, that episode just launched today. We had Kip Folks, who runs he's got an outfitter up in Alaska for grizzly, moose, and all that. And then Joel we've had on, just talking about shot IQ stuff and the high stress stuff you're talking about with shooting rifles. He does a lot with bows. So it's just cool to talk to those guys and pick their brains. We had an NFL guy, that Zach Sealer, that just actually signed a $45 million contract a couple days after he left here. So, we asked him for a percentage of that since we probably helped with that. But, man, it's just it's my own, I guess, pursuit for knowledge, or lack of better terms, of just getting exposed to different guys and what they're doing, and in the hunting, and then also just in sport and how we can relate that to the outdoors.
On that note, like, there's just reading through sort of the ideas behind In Pursuit, there's like the grit of mountain hunting, and then how that aligns with, physical performance and the disciplines of CrossFit. Like, how do you see those two? Like, where's that intersection for you?
Man, I think it's just being a well-rounded athlete. I mean, you just finished a 100-mile race, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been a month now, but
Yeah.
I still feel it.
Yeah, I bet you're still feeling it. Yeah. And so with CrossFit, obviously, the idea is, without getting too nerdy in it, you know, you don't want to be the strongest guy in the room. You don't want to be the guy that has the most power, but you also don't want to be the, you know, long, slow guy. You want to kind of be a mix or have some ability at each of those spots. And so, yeah, the idea is like, man, we just want to be as prepared for the mountains, preferably. You know, that's where my heart is. We got a bunch of guys here that are Eastern hunters, and I've, in the last little bit, started doing some whitetail, but my heart's still out west as much as, you know, I'm stuck here in Tennessee. But, you know, we're going on 2 elk hunts in the next couple weeks, archery. And so just being prepared for that, me personally, but also taking that and just helping people that want to go out and be able to go after something.
Tell me, I was thinking about this. I had during that 100-mile race, there were some real low points.
Oh, yeah,
I could point to a couple moments that were like what I would describe as the hardest. And we'll get to that. I'm actually going to come down and visit Rich.
Yeah,
and we're
you're supposed to come out in a couple weeks, right?
Talk about this business. But what, in all of your career of competing in CrossFit, is there a moment that stands out to you where you're like, oh, during this competition and this moment, I struggled and had to get through this low point to make it to the other side?
Man, I probably have too many to list. Probably the most infamous one was my first CrossFit Games. As an individual, you know, the final event, I was leading going into the final, and a rope climb there was like a 3-part event, and the final part was a rope climb with some burpees in there. And really didn't think anything about it until I started getting to the rope, and having done 2 workouts before that, just couldn't get up the rope. A lot of guys using their feet. When I was a kid, my dad told me not to use my feet because that's for, you know, use whatever acronym you want to use or whatever word you want to use there. I didn't know if it's PG or PG-13 show. And so I just never used my feet. And so all these guys are going up and down the rope. Well, I got up it a couple times and fell pretty good. I think it was about 20 feet. And if you type in Rich Froning falls off rope on YouTube, you're welcome. But man, yeah, I ended up losing the CrossFit Games by 3 points, which is 3 places throughout the whole weekend. And man, I was just in a bad spot. And so, you know, there's different things that you can look back on. And man, I hate losing. I hate being that guy I was born into a family of 32 first cousins. 25 of us are boys. My entire life has been a competition. And so I hate losing. I hate failure. I hate all that. So man, it just used it as a motivator. In the next couple of years, I was like, man, I don't want to have that shame, and, you know, huge in my faith. And so that was a big kind of eye opener to that, of like, man, just do it for something else. Do it for something bigger than just yourself.
Awesome. It sounds like quite the fall. I'm definitely YouTubing that. I think Randall's already got it. Got it pulled up.
I don't know if the sound's on my computer, so I don't want to fire it up right now, but it's lined up.
All right, so
it's ready.
Rich, you mentioned Joel Turner, Kip, me. Who else you got that's coming on to talk on In Pursuit that you're excited about?
Man, we had Andy Galpin in, Dr. Andy Galpin. He's a human.
Oh, yeah, listen to him.
Yeah, man, that was me, you know, being a nerd, being a fitness nerd. That's what my background is, my degree in. So being able to, like, nerd out on that type of stuff was a ton of fun. I've got another guy, Todd Anderson, he's become a friend of mine. He's really into sleep. That'll be a ton of fun, of, like, you know, what we think, just some minor changes you can make to improve performance, because I think one of the biggest things in recovery is sleep. We've got a couple maybe some nutritionists lined up, an athletic therapist or an athletic trainer. So just, like, you know, we all see the, like, CrossFit style stuff or the ultra endurance stuff, but, you know, the taking care of your body when you're not in the gym or not, you know, training for something even outdoors.
I can tell you that was my favorite part about running 100 miles was the 2 weeks of recovery and taking that very seriously, which basically means you just sleep your ass off.
Yeah.
Lots of naps. Is this guy you're going to talk to, is he a nap proponent? Because I've been hearing that.
Some people, we haven't gotten into it yet. He's coming on in the next couple weeks. I can't nap. My brain doesn't shut off during the day, as bad as that sounds. Like, once I'm up, I'm up. And so we'll see, man. Now I'll ask him about naps. I'll make sure to put that one on there when we're on there. I'll say Janis wants to know about naps.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because I listened to one. I think it was actually on Galpin's show. He was talking to a sleep researcher from the Army. And a couple big takeaways was, one, naps are great. Don't go over 20 minutes. And then LeBron James takes 3 to 4 a day.
That's what I was going to say. Napping's huge in the NBA, especially with late tip-offs.
Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, you got to control those cortisol fluctuations. So,
and I mean, you want to talk about a crossover for elk hunting? If I don't get my midday nap in on an elk hunt, I'm going to be going downhill.
Little reset.
You got to get that little midday nap in. All right, man. Well, look forward to hearing some episodes. Where can we find In Pursuit?
The MeatEater Podcast Network. It's I think today we just dropped the one with Kip was 2 weeks ago, and this today was Joel Turner. So those will be on there on I guess the channel that this is on. So
perfect. We'll check them out there. Well, thanks for joining us, taking time away from your busy day, and look forward to hanging out in Nashville here when I can get down there to talk running.
Come on, boys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
See ya.
Okay. That was Rich Froning, the In Pursuit podcast. I haven't listened yet, but I need to, especially if he's going to start talking about sleep, man. I am into staying up on my sleep.
Nothing like talking about sleep.
I'm serious.
I know.
I'm serious.
But it's also sort of funny.
It is. But people, like he just said, people don't take it seriously enough, man. And you're not performing at
I can't even sleep in the nighttime, much less the daytime.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I take my sleep very seriously.
Well, everybody does, but I feel for you because I know not a lot, but I know quite a few people in my life that don't have.
Sorry, guys.
That have a hard time.
Oh, I'll lie in bed for hours.
In general,
I'll lie in bed for hours, just staring at the walls. Get up, walk around, go read a book.
Take a cold shower.
Read until my eyes close on the page. And do that 3 more times, and then I'm probably ready.
Okay.
Working through the right stuff right now. Book about airplanes and space travel. About the astronauts, actually.
Right, as in WR?
As in R-I-T-H.
Oh.
R-I-G-H-T. R-I-G-H-T.
I got
Sorry.
you.
I didn't get a lot of
Yeager.
sleep
I'm
last
tracking.
night. Yeah, Chuck Yeager.
All right. Real quick, this won't take 5 minutes. Moultrie Mobile Trail Cam. I say that, guys, because in my little script here, it says roughly how long these little bits take.
But it's good. We can make up some time here.
Moultrie Mobile Trail Cam Photo Contest Round 3. Okay? It's titled Big Bull Elk. You can go to how to enter your photographs. You go to, there's going to be an article. I think we're dropping it today on the MeatEater website. And you can submit your Big Bull Elk Trail Cam photos. We'll pick the top 4 photos to showcase during next week's show and then have the chat. So if you come and listen next week live, you're going to get to actually pick the winner. The chat will do it. Prizes are...
Tell them what they're going to win, Janis.
Here you go. 2 Edge 2 First Light Spectre Camo Edition Moultrie cameras with 10-watt solar power pack bundles. I can't say enough about those solar pack bundles, man. It makes them completely hands-off. The cameras are hands-off now. If they could now just make a function where the solar panel usually the one that's attached comes out of the top. A lot of them have separate solar panels that you just attach to the cord, which I actually like better because that way you can have the solar panel facing south, camera facing north. But what they need now is another thing where a set of big clippers comes out of the bottom. Because what happens to me is I set them up in the spring, nothing's growing. And then right about now, all of a sudden, it's like this in front of my cameras. And Moultrie just needs to have a little thing that comes out and just it can reach out about 3 feet.
And if
Just douse the stuff around the camera with some herbicide.
Listen, that thought has crossed my mind. All right,
once they get a drone that'll just hang them for you, we'll be set.
There's 3 prizes. It doesn't say if there's a number 1, number 2, number 3 prize. They're all good prizes. Prize number 2, $250 gift card to the MeatEater store, a $250 gift card to First Light.
My goodness.
And prize 4, there's 4 prizes, a Case Knives Brent Reeves signature mini trapper knife.
Ooh.
Yeah, doesn't the winner just get all that stuff?
That seems excessive.
Oh, maybe.
Phil, have we just been picking one winner for those, haven't we?
Damn.
Yeah, one winner gets everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to set up some trail cameras.
Get a quick, awesome bull elk picture. My guess, if I could just look into the future a little bit, it's going to be something with a bull elk in a wallow.
That's a typical spot for a trail cam.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you get some water splashing, maybe a bull on his back, pissing all over himself.
Mm-hmm.
You could put it on a telephone pole outside Mammoth Hot Springs too, and you'd do all right.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I don't know if the park's going to let you put a camera up.
You just keep it quiet.
Okay, now we're on to answering a few questions from the chat. Phil, what do we got today?
Yeah, and Janis already said so, but just to reiterate, the article is not up yet, but it will be up later today.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to check back this evening on the MeatEater.com, it should be pretty obvious. Submit it's a Moultrie trail cam photo.
You know what is up right now, though, Phil, is my most recent On the Hunt episode where I went to Wyoming to shoot a pronghorn.
Check that out.
Trophy pronghorn.
Trophy.
I was going for a trophy. I learned a lot about judging trophy pronghorn on this trip.
You guys want to watch Rich fall off of a rope?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, I felt bad doing it when he was on the line, but
Here's Rich going up. He's only using his arms.
Oh,
Dang, Rich.
That could have been a broken tailbone.
yeah, that looked
there.
tough.
yeah.
In that Spartan race me and Hayden did, we watched a guy, you got to swing from ring to ring, you know?
Yeah.
And a big muscular guy like Rich made the big long swing, but didn't hold on, landed flat on his back and broke his collarbone. Like we heard it snap.
Ooh.
How did you do on those rings?
I did all right because I'm like skinny and spry. I don't got a lot of weight to hold
Right.
on, you know?
Yeah. Dang. That looks rough.
Yeah.
And he still took third place.
You ever broken your tailbone?
No.
Oh, it's not fun.
I mean, I've had it.
How'd you do it? Have you done it?
Yeah.
Is there a story?
Playing basketball, posting the guy up. He thought it'd be funny to just whap with a knee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that did it.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh, it was awful. Awful. You're coccyx. That's
Yeah.
what they call it.
Randall can't take those hard fouls.
Nope.
I like the fact that you're a b-ball player. I'm gonna get my hoop down here from my house.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
then
then in the wintertime, we
you-
should set it up in my barn.
And Max, ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I know that we have Max, you,
Spencer would play. Wouldn't you,
Spencer, and Nick Tapia. All right, let's get a question in, Phil.
Sure, let's get a question in. Let's see here. Trey Woods is asking for some crew score predictions for the tailgate tour. Something like College Game Day. Randall, you got any predictions you wanna share? At least for the game you're going to.
I guess what I'm thinking is I just don't want them to lose.
At home.
First game of the season. It's going to be really coming as defending national champions. I mean,
of pressure.
there's a lot of pressure. And Arch Manning, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a bad scene if they lose. So I'm thinking positive thoughts. But as you can tell, I'm also thinking negative thoughts. So
Well, they still have that literal highlight reel of a wide receiver.
Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, that guy is incredible.
Jeremiah Smith for Heisman.
That was actually one of the questions here. Randall, is your predictions for Heisman this year?
You want to know some Heisman trivia?
Please.
Yeah.
The figure on the statue?
Uh-huh.
That's Jay Burwanger. He's a quarterback at the University of Chicago back when we were a powerhouse.
Interesting.
I like that. Randall, you're full of stuff like that. You got another one, Phil?
That was from Trey. John asks, Janis, have you seen anyone doing a
Ooh.
100K barefoot?
Nope. I haven't.
Is that a thing that happens?
I think maybe a little bit. There's some of that barefoot or like super minimalist shoe stuff going on. The thing you see sometimes, there's these running sandals that they are very minimalist. I mean the sole is flat and it's like a 1/4 inch, and then there's just a couple straps going over the foot to hold the sole underneath you. That's the closest I've seen to anybody doing one of these barefoot. And I don't know, if you train in it, they probably finish.
Sorry, I misspoke. Jay Burwanger was a halfback.
I'm disappointed. Nathan asks, crew, what are some plans/traditions that you have on Labor Day weekend, if you have any? Do you guys have any sort of go-to activities or stuff
Go
to do with the
hunting?
family?
Camping, fishing, and or hunting.
Yeah. Camping. It's a great camping weekend.
It is.
Just send off to the summer before.
Yeah. We're going to do a little barbecue with the neighbors. Catch up. We haven't seen them in a little while. My oldest daughter just made pat on her back again, twice in one episode. She made the Bozeman High School freshman volleyball team, the A team, and I've now realized that it's a fall sport and it's going to affect our fall activities.
Oh yeah, hey, my son's figuring that out with the cross country.
Yeah. Luckily for youth season, it's not going to affect.
It's
us.
not. We're good for antelope opener and youth season.
All right, and those are the two big ones for us right now. Do you want to do another one, Phil?
Yeah, I don't know how much has been announced or how much we can say, but Azor King asks, when is the MeatEater crew going to do live podcast tours again?
I don't think we can say.
Okay, I would say just...
Is that right?
Just keep
We
your
can't?
eyes
I don't want to do it.
open.
I don't want to be.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm not going to touch
Yeah,
it.
just stay posted. Yeah.
Hang on.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
It's not going to be... Yeah. I don't know about like the
I don't even think you should have
podcast
clicked on
tour.
this question, Phil.
Be
You've
optimistic
already-
and stay posted.
There you go,
Yeah.
Brody.
Yeah, if you live in the southeast part of the
Oh, God.
country,
Oh,
you're probably
God.
going to be pretty excited.
Yanni
We're
said
going to
it.
get a call from the C-suite here in a minute.
If nobody had said we can't talk about it, so what the hell?
I just assume I can't talk about
Yeah, we
things
need
until
more
they tell me
clean
to plug
lines
it.
of communication around here if they're going to be mad. about
Let's move on. We got a lot of stuff to cover.
all right.
it. Brody says no more questions. All right. Sorry, guys.
We can do a
On
long.
to-
We can do a
on-
long ending question sesh.
On to our next interview. Many of you know Parker Hall from MeatEater Season 8 episode Flathead Catfish and Gray Squirrels, where he taught Steve how to eat sunflower seeds properly, specifically how to build a little gravy in the seeds. This was alongside bank pole fishing for flatheads and squirrel hunting with his Feist Ruby. This episode was recently released on the YouTube channel as part of Season 8 being released there. That started, I think, about a month ago. This is the first episode in Season 8. Highly recommend you check it out.
There's a very good tutorial on how to fry fish the right way in there too.
Yes, I still do things that I learned from Parker on that trip. One being, speaking of fried fish, Parker's he's not on yet, so he can't even talk. I'm talking for him. But Parker seasons his fish before breading it, which I think is crucial.
Yeah.
The other day we did a breading that had mixed sizes of the breading itself. Like there was some panko, there was some flour, some
Right.
cornstarch. As the breading got used up, the big stuff, the panko was gone. It was turning into a just flour and cornstarch breading, which is why, if you think about it, salt and pepper are similarly sized, right? They're fine. And that's why Parker does seasons the fish first, because if it's in your breading, that salt and pepper are not getting onto the fish as much as whatever bigger chunks of breading you have on there. Say it's cornmeal or whatever, right? So if you want even seasoning, you got to season the fish first. Thanks, Parker. All right. Let's see.
He's
way
we haven't
early
introduced watching this and cannot say anything.
We thanked him.
Okay. Let's see.
We don't even need to bring him on anymore. I think you just covered it.
Parker and I stay in touch via text, usually sending each other videos of our dogs barking on trail or tree. If you know, you know. Parker is the state director of the USDA's Wildlife Services Florida program, and his main focus is alleviating damages associated with feral swine. This includes protection of agriculture, natural resources, threatened and endangered species, and disease monitoring. Today, he's joining us while he's taking DNA samples from trapped hogs that are threatening sea turtles. Did you know that? That could be a thing?
No.
No.
Do now.
Welcome to the show, Parker. Uh-oh, I can't hear him.
I don't think it's my fault. You got your mic on, Parker?
How about now?
Hey.
Nailed
There
it.
we go.
Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Old egg.
Did you like that introduction, Parker?
That was great. That was perfect introduction, and also perfect description of why you should season your fish first. Excellent description. Perfect.
Okay, I see that you have a what looks to be either a dead or a anesthetized pig in front of you. What are you doing with that thing?
So, thank you for the introduction and good overview. This is a dead pig, not anesthetized. So something we do in the state is protect, like you said, agriculture, threatened endangered species, sea turtles, people who are trying to manage their land and being overrun with pigs. We are not actually doing sea turtle protection today, although we do it all over the state. This is a land manager that's trying to manage deer and turkeys and warm season grasses and all those kind of things. So we had a group of pigs captured today, and part of what we do with USDA Wildlife Services is also monitor for diseases. There's a number of diseases that we take, samples we take, and we look at, including pseudorabies, brucellosis, classical swine fever, African swine fever. We look at some of the flu viruses, HPAI, all sorts of things. So as part of that, all the pigs that we capture, we do take samples of them. And I was just going to kind of go through that today and show you guys what we take. And then if there's any questions you have about what we're looking for, why we're looking for it, that'd be perfect.
All right.
All right.
Move on.
What we have to do is make sure we put on our PPE. It's good to wear PPE when you're taking samples and dealing with feral swine. And most of you guys know, and one thing that we deal with in the Southeast, particular with feral swine, to an extent, is pseudorabies and brucellosis. So pseudorabies is not a zoonotic disease, meaning people can't get it, but brucellosis you can. And for those of you that are cleaning feral swine and those things, the brucellosis kind of hangs out in the reproductive tract, in the lactating areas, and those kind of things. So it's always a good idea to use some protection when you're cleaning feral swine if you're going to consume them. And all these diseases that we're talking about, some of them can be transferred to people, some can't, but they're all killed if you cook it to a proper temperature. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to take some blood. Hopefully, this animal's been dead for some time, so hopefully it's not congealed too much. So pressure's on. What I'm doing is trying to make a heart stick, and going in the top of the heart. And then that goes into a vial. And these vials are pressurized, as you can see. All right, this goes into my collection kit. Then I'll take a couple more samples. This next sample, I'll just get a little drop of blood and put it on a Q-tip, and then that goes in some media, which I cannot open. Get my Q-tip out.
Hey, Parker, if you've got a helper there, would you mind asking them just to angle that camera just up just a hair? We're mostly just looking at the bottom half of your face.
Okay. How's that?
There we go. Perfect.
Better? Okay, good. All right. And this goes into media. And this one in particular is looking for a foreign animal disease, African swine fever. We do not have that in the United States, but it's in Haiti and down those type of areas. It's in Africa. It's pretty bad. We don't want it in feral swine in the United States. And the reason we look for a lot of these diseases in feral swine is for protection of our domestics. So some of them we used to have, we've eradicated, and we're trying to keep them out. The feral swine all over the country can act as a reservoir, right? So if a disease gets in those wild populations, it's much more difficult to get rid of or treat or do whatever you need to do. The ones that are in captivity, the ones we use for our food source, we could treat those animals and kind of stamp out diseases. So it's really bad if they get in the wild. Try to keep them, try to keep monitoring. And if we see something, then we can take proper precautions and talk with our state ag and our state wildlife agencies, and then they can take the steps that they're going to do. So got that one. And the last sample I'll take off of this animal is DNA, genetic sample. That's just an ear clip. We take that and put that into this media, and then that's sent. And what we're trying to do in USDA is get a map of feral swine all over the continental United States, to see movements, to see if animals came from one area, been relocated to another area, try to stop translocation, try to see natural movements and how they're doing. Pigs are really taking off all over the country, and we're learning a lot of valuable information using this genetic technique. So those are the 3 main samples that we would get. That all goes onto a data sheet, and you can notice they have these barcodes. So when we send that in, the barcode matches with the vial, scan, and goes into the list, and then all of our Excel spreadsheets get sent to us, and people go through those and take a look and see what our prevalences are. Like I said, mostly in the southeast, pseudorabies, brucellosis are ones we have, and along with trichinosis, lepto, those types of things. We also look, and when we first get the animal, we just kind of go over it and see if there's any lesions or anything that's looking abnormal. And if there are something, we see some blistering, some sloughing of the hooves, then we contact our state veterinarians and maybe get them involved and see if there's something that was on the landscape that we haven't seen or something we don't want.
Hey Parker, what percentage of the pigs you're examining have one of these diseases? Like, can you make a ballpark on that?
I actually know the answer to that. About, if I believe it or not, about 25% of the pigs that we have in Florida are positive for pseudorabies. Now, like I said, that's not exotic, so people can't get it, but it's fatal in dogs and some other animals. And to a lesser extent, brucellosis, which is about 15% or so. So it is
I have lots of questions, but if you guys have some, please go.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that had I known you were waiting with a dead hog for us, I would have insisted that we interview you first, so you didn't have to sit there with your dead hog and your PPE for 45 minutes, but appreciate having you on.
Parker, you mentioned the translocation and that you guys are kind of keeping an eye on that. I'm assuming that that's being done by humans and that it's probably being done by hunters that want to hunt feral swine in their area. Is that true? Is that what you guys are fighting a little bit?
Yeah, that's what we find. So USDA is non-regulatory, but if we have a new population show up where they've never been before in the middle of the country, we're able to remove some of those. And then we work with our state game and fish agencies and be like, these came from, we're in South Dakota and these genetically go back to Orlando or whatever, that area. So there's some valuable information that's being gained there. And we can tell that there's certain areas in the country where a lot of pigs are coming from. And it's pretty neat stuff to be able to see where those hogs are being moved from and where to. So, yes. So,
go ahead. I was just going to say, can you just tell us just quickly so we can spread the message of why translocating pigs is a bad idea, if you don't know?
Well, other than the disease issues I talked about and all of the T&E species, agriculture, destruction, in the woods competing with deer and turkeys, they're a non-native invasive species. So it's just like any other non-native invasive species. They don't belong here. They didn't evolve on the landscape, and they compete with all of our native animals and give our agricultural community a pretty big headache.
I love Parker's job. Parker, you love your job?
Love my job.
I think there's got to be some kids out there listening, some young people, maybe some old people that want to change their career. If someone wanted to get into doing like what you get to do on a daily basis, which just every time we talk to you, I'm like, man, that sounds like fun what Parker's doing. Like, what do they need to do in school, and then what do they need to do in after school, sort of to get the experience to get in that line of work?
And thank you for asking that question. We're kind of a smaller agency in wildlife services, so we do have, believe it or not, trouble getting applicants sometimes. So we have different levels of jobs. Technicians, they can come to work with wildlife services with no college degree. They need some experience in the outdoors, trapping, animal damage kind of stuff, any of those types of things. They can come to work in those jobs. Those employees are the backbone of wildlife services. They do all the work and we get all the credit. Just like this trap behind me and these feral swine that were trapped, I didn't do it. I was too busy doing spreadsheets. One of my good technicians did it. And so those people are out there and it's a great job. A lot of our jobs are posted on USA Jobs. That's the government website. You can also look up each wildlife services state has a webpage. You can go and call the state director or call the district supervisor, ask around in the state. They know. As you move up, you do need a college degree, like a 4-year degree in some sort of natural resources, biology, wildlife, all those sorts of things. And that gets you up to that biologist level. And then after you get to that, you can work your way up. But the crux and the heart and soul is our technicians, are people who are in the woods making a difference.
Yeah. Were those pigs pretty easy to trap, or were these some of those difficult pigs that you've talked about in the past with us?
No, these ones are pretty easy. These haven't been messed with a whole lot, so they weren't too difficult. Some of them get super hard. And we were talking about a little earlier protecting sea turtle nests, and that's a big thing that we do. And some of those guys get squirrely because we chase them pretty hard. They'll get out, Florida being what it is, we have so much coastline and so many nesting sea turtles, and feral swine are in high populations here. So those pigs will get out on the beach and just dig up turtle nest after turtle nest after turtle nest. And some of those can get kind of squirrely to get to.
If I had known as a younger person that wildlife tech also included trapping and possibly hunting these animals, I could be on a completely different career path.
It's not too late, Janis.
All right, thanks for that, Parker. I hope that you actually get some people that call you up interested in possibly working for that agency. Now, before I invited Parker to come on this show, he had texted me and said, "Hey, man, what you guys should do one time on one of your podcast thingies," that's the term he used, is that you guys should name your top 3 favorite sounds from the woods. And he had already, at that time, at that moment, he sent me the list, his top 3 favorite ones, along with a video where you could hear one of the sounds that he said. Now, Parker, do you want to tell me do you remember what your 3 are that you sent to me in text?
I do remember. Well, I think I remember my 3 because they don't really change. But before we get to the 3, I think it's super important to point out that everything we do in building up in the outdoors, we go through a lot of preparation, a lot of things, and getting all ready and the excitement. And then all of a sudden you're there. But when you hear a sound, it's all come to fruition. Something's about to happen. And so I started thinking about that. And I was like, man, sound is such an important thing, when you're outside, recreating, hunting, fishing, doing all those sorts of things. So I do know my 3.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you start then, and I want you to start with the number 3, and then go to 2, and then go to the top 1.
Okay. Number 3 for me is probably a treed dog. And I love the sound of a treed dog. I have Ruby and you have your good blue dog, who, by the way, has a beautiful voice, and it echoes out through them mountains. Man, I can't get enough of it. I show it to so many, like, listen to this dog. I love it. And you're running the track, and then that changes that chop. Man, something's about to happen. So I really love that part. That's
Oh yeah.
What you got? What you got? What is that?
Beautiful.
Phil, do you also have Parker's
I do, yeah.
Ruby?
Ooh, easy.
All right, Parker, what's your number 2 favorite sound in the woods or the outdoors?
my number 2 sound is a drag singing. Just when you hook up to a fish and that drag going zzz, better than that. It's just something that gets your heart going. Something good is about to happen. So that's my number 2.
Okay, we're going to play it right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's cool.
Yeah, last fall we got to fish similar water to what Parker is fishing there on the coast of Florida.
Yeah.
We were on the coast of Louisiana, and I'm assuming that was a redfish in that video. And we got to experience a lot of that, and you can't help but giggle. Like when that is happening and that reel is going backwards and making that sound, singing, you just can't help but giggle. I mean, it is just one of the best. All right, number one sound in the turkey woods, Parker.
The best sound now.
Oh, sorry, in the woods, I meant to say.
In the woods is when you are hunting a turkey and you've been working him for some time and all's quiet and you know in the game, you know he's coming, but you don't know where he's gobbled last about 20 minutes ago and you're just frozen. And all of a sudden you hear that drum and you right on top of you, buddy. And I'm telling you, it gets your heart pumping so fast, you freeze rock solid, and you hear it again. That's the best sound in the woods, if you ask me.
Beautiful.
Now, if for those of you, a turkey drumming, the spit you can kind of catch on camera, but that sound of the drum itself, it's one of those sounds that is, for whatever reason, a microphone has a hard time picking up that hum.
It's so low frequency.
Right.
And like new turkey hunters, I think hear that, like it doesn't even register with them. Like I've tried to point it out to people and they're like, what are you, I don't hear anything, you know?
You guys want to go next or do you want me to go?
You can go.
All right, I'm gonna speed mine up a little bit. We already heard my number three was Mingus Barking Treed. We already heard Mingus. Number two, this is also a video I sent to Parker. I was really thinking about like what makes me happy when I hear sound, and I was thinking, man, when I drop in some fish or some turkey nuggets into some oil, and that oil just is crackling away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is a good sound. And like Parker said, you know something's good is about to happen. You're about to put that stuff in your mouth.
That sound changes a little too, like when you first throw it in versus when it's ready.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, number one. And I will say, man, there's a lot of good sounds out there. But this is what came to mind in the last 24 hours. I was putting some effort into making this come together. Is a deer walking through the woods, crunching leaves underfoot, specifically a heavy deer in oak leaves. Were you able to pull anything like that up, Phil?
No, because this is literally the first time I'm hearing about this.
Okay. But you all, if you're a deer hunter out there, Randall, Brody, you guys have both been there, Pennsylvania, Ohio. It's like another sound that you don't really see it before it happens. It's like a lot of times for me when I'm in a tree stand, that's what tips me off to the presence. And somehow, I don't know how, but I feel like I'm getting to the point where I can tell the difference between 120-pound doe and 175 to 200 plus pound buck. Like
Not sure I couldn't do that.
It's been so long since I sat in a tree stand that as you're describing this, all I can think about is how similar squirrels sound to deer in my memory.
Yes, and the moment you think you got that figured out, you're like, that's a squirrel. You look over there, and there's the buck you've been waiting after.
Like, how does a squirrel make that much noise?
But, man, when I hear that sound, same thing, man. It's just like, you know it's about to go down, you know? Whether it's a doe or a buck, whatever, you better, like, you need to get into predator mode, get your bow in your hand, get your release clipped on, and start focusing real fast because it's about to go down. All right, who's next?
Doesn't matter, Randall. You
Sure, I can go. I brought in a prop for my first sound.
Oh, Randall's opening a breakdown rod case.
Now, Brody, if you'll hold this there.
Sure.
Now,
Is this gonna hurt me?
Nope. I just need you to hold that nice and stiff.
Oh, I know where he's going with this.
So now we go.
Randall's got a...
We go, picture this. You're sitting by a riverbank at night. You cast your bait out, settles on the bottom nicely.
A warm summer night with crickets?
A warm summer night. You click off your headlamp and you crack open an ice cold beverage, and then all of a sudden you hear,
Put that by your mic.
and then you hear, and that's how you know old Mr. Catatterfish has your bait. Nothing more exciting than hearing that bell ring when you're catfishing at night. Number 2, picture this. It's deer season. You're with your buddy. He goes one way, you go the other. You're hiking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And you guys are the only guys out there. Then all of a sudden, boom! Your buddy shoots.
What about the thwap?
The thwap is good too. I was thinking specifically of when we were in Mexico and we were listening on the radio and our buddy shot a buck and he hit it good, but it went off and we could hear him kind of scrambling. Like, I don't know if, like, where is he? Looking for him. We're sitting there like biting our lips. And then all of a sudden you hear, boom, he found him. Just a gunshot where you know exactly what happened. That's the best sound in the world. Actually, that's number 2.
That's number 2. I'm tracking. You have 2 great sounds so far, Randall.
Now, picture this. You're deer hunting in Idaho. It's 4:30. You got a long hike ahead of you. Driving down a bumpy road. You're listening to maybe a podcast, maybe the MeatEater podcast. Maybe you're listening to some music that'll pump you up. Rock and roll, hip hop, whatever your thing is. You get there. You put your headlamp on. You shut the car off, you get outside, and you close the door. Perfect silence. When all that noise just stops, I feel like whenever I close my truck door and there's nothing, it's like something just washes over you.
The sound of silence.
The sound of silence
is your number 1.
I'm
The
gonna
sound of silence. That's my number. That's my top 3.
Good job, Randall.
Good top 3.
I enjoyed that. Brody?
My number 3 would be a grouse flushing right at your feet. You got the noise, Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's a very exciting sound if you're a grouse hunter. And it can take you by surprise a lot of times too. And it means good things. So that's a good one for me and my dog. My number 2 is a magpie called the Whisper Song. You got that, Phil? It almost sounds like they're talking a little bit when they're doing that, like human talking sometimes.
I'm only familiar with the Whisper Song by the Yin Yang Twins.
Not familiar with that
Wait,
one.
parentheses, the Whisper Song?
This one's way better than that because
Careless Whisper?
because this is often out west the sound of a successful big game hunt. Oftentimes, very
that's a good
soon
point.
after you shoot and walk up to a mule deer, elk, what have you, you're gonna hear that song pretty quickly, and it goes on the whole time while you're breaking that animal down because they know a big meal's coming. So
Good things on the horizon.
Yeah. So that's a sound I love. My top one, similar to Randall's, a little more specific. It's when because I think this is a very rare thing to hear, which is like you get to the glass and knob, you sit down, and it usually takes a little while to sink in, and you realize that it's completely quiet. There's no background noise, no cars, no planes flying overhead, no dogs barking, no cows mooing. It's very rare to hear. It may be a little more common out here in the wide open spaces of Montana. It's tough to find probably in Wisconsin, but like it's almost jarring when it sinks in.
Oh yeah.
When you're like, oh my God, there's like no background.
Like no
Once-
wind noise even.
And
Yeah.
I'm no longer
Yeah.
panting from the hike in.
Yeah, you get
I can
that
no longer hear my
rare,
pulse.
that rare super still day. It's the best.
Man, you boys got me fired up. I was fired up an hour and 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I'm
Let's
extreme.
go.
You guys now with the sounds of nature, the top ones. I might just take the rest of the day off and go fishing so I can hear a reel
Oh.
sing or go fry some fish or go find a spot in the woods that is silent.
I want to go somewhere and just see if I get surprised by a gunshot. Ooh.
Everyone's dream.
Hey, Parker, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing your work to light here and for sharing and for coming with the idea of the top 3 favorite sounds. I'm sure we're going to use that one again.
It was an inspired suggestion. Thank you.
Very much so. For all of you at home, thanks for watching and listening.
What about
we gotta
listener
do a
feedback?
wrap
we
up.
still got to do more feedback? I figured Phil was just going to cut me off. Parker, you are free to go, man.
Thanks, Parker.
You can walk away from that dead hog now.
See ya.
He's a good sport.
Hey, how about this, Janis? I'm going to call a quick audible. Instead of doing questions, how about we go over? The chat had a lot of great suggestions for sounds from the outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been reading all of them,
That's
but we can
brilliant,
just kind of,
Phil.
play it by ear. Keith says, drumming of a ruffed grouse, the
Yep.
song of a red-winged blackbird, and the thwack of an arrow connecting.
I like all 3 of those.
Texas Smoking says turkeys wouldn't even make his list, which seems controversial. Seems like a hot take.
Texas smoking. I like it.
Wood duck as
what
the
it's
sun
smoking.
comes up. It's pretty nice. The first western meadowlark of spring.
That's a good.
I like
Western meadow,
I like sandhill cranes.
Yep.
So fun.
Spencer Newhart says a big buck walking through the woods sounds the same as a squirrel.
That's true.
No, it doesn't.
Spencer don't know.
That's true.
You don't know what he's talking
He hunted in North Dakota. They don't have leaves that the deer crunch on.
Andrew says an arrow slicing through the air, turkey gobble in the distance, and a bullock screaming at you from 30 yards away. You guys didn't hear this, Randall, when you were talking about your gunshot. I played a gunshot, but I didn't have the audio in the room up. So, but the chat heard it, and apparently it was timed perfectly. So
Good job, Phil, once again.
Did it go with my boom?
it did go.
Oh.
It was this.
I look forward to watching this on YouTube.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Randall, I like that it was that your friend shoots something and not you.
Spencer is arguing with you. He says that they do have trees in South.
Not with
yeah.
leaves.
When you when you're like with someone and they're like, I'm gonna go after that deer, and you're just sitting there and like you lose sight of your buddy and you lose sight of the deer and you're just waiting, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's just like, what happened? You want to know.
You do?
There's nothing better.
Jude says 1 million duck calls all at once on public land.
No, that's not in my top 10.
Yeah, we got a lot of upland birds flushing. So yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts, chat. Appreciate it. Yanni, you are completely off camera right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just kicking back, reading along with you.
We could do least favorite sounds sometimes too.
I hate to dwell on the negative.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's part of life.
Yeah.
Things going wrong out there.
Yeah. All right, so no questions today, Phil? to
Well,
finish us off?
we're at a good time. You guys don't seem very receptive to questions.
No, I'd love to hit a couple
Oh,
questions.
we
Phil.
love questions.
We got plenty of
The
time.
only reason that I would get finished right now is for your time, Phil. I want to be respectful of your time.
That does mean a lot. I didn't have breakfast and it's lunchtime, and I'm getting them. I'm getting a little hungry.
Peckish.
Let's see. Spencer is asking. He says, "Ask the guys how the SIG Range Day competition went." In parentheses, who won? Is he talking to you?
I don't even know what range day competition he's talking about.
Oh, when we were out at the
When it was the whole crew? Mm-hmm. Who did win?
The whole crew except for me and Steve who were recording the audiobook.
Were you there, Brody?
yeah,
Was I there?
yep, we were shooting together.
Huh. Who won? I'm guessing.
we never should have asked
guessing
questions.
Spencer won. Good job,
Yeah.
Spencer.
Let's move on to another question.
What does this have to do
I
with
don't
what?
know. He's just wanting to
Inside.
talk smack.
Yeah.
He's just sad he's not here right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like this happens with Randall when Randall's in the chat. Sometimes they're the ones fielding questions, so people just ask them questions for the whole show.
Oh, look, Azor King
look,
asked, when are we doing another live podcast tour? Possibly at the end of this year.
Look at Nate's question
Which let's see.
at the bottom. At the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Nate asks, it says, Phil, what was Randall's score on trivia if he played yesterday's game yet? He
I
needs
got
to
a
know if his
perfect
win
game.
is legit.
I got a perfect game driving into the office
sorry,
yesterday.
Nate.
I mean, it felt like questions 1 through 5 were just gimmies for me. Chronograph?
I know, I can't believe Brody and I both had the same wrong answer.
Great Basin National Park?
Oh, people in the YouTube comments, Yanni, were angry about Nate's tree stand answer. They said that should have been accepted.
No, it shouldn't have.
Well, it wasn't me to make the final call.
That's
Spencer
true.
was hosting, so
All right.
but I agree with him. It wasn't the right answer.
Let's call the show there, guys. How about
You don't
that?
want to end on a good one?
Is that not a
Adios.
good one?
No, Phil's saying there's no good questions left. Randall,
Well, here's the thing. I love everyone who watches this show every week. If you're asking questions in the chat, you're doing a great job. But a lot of the questions are sort of like, hey, can I have some tips about deer hunting? And we need to get more specific with the questions.
Yes.
that's a hot
Yes.
tip. For
Is there
good
just
questions.
a weird question? Can we get a weird
A
one?
weird question.
Randall just doesn't want to go.
I normally don't flag the super weird question. Okay, Freddie Rick said he was late to the show because he was butchering an antelope, and then he followed up with, what is a good use for the outside round besides jerky or grind?
Ooh, outside round is a different term than what I know. Is he talking about top round?
I don't know if he's
Probably.
talking top or bottom.
It's got to be one of those two. Oftentimes, I mean, I just roast it.
They both of the rounds make good.
I eat a lot of
steaks.
round steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of round steaks.
Yeah, totally. If it's and what I'll do sometimes if I cut one and it's a little bit chewy, the next time I make that same cut, I just give it a little pounding
Sure.
and it's fine.
And listen, man, I feel like people don't use enough good cuts off the hindquarter. If you want good burger,
Yeah.
use good cuts. If all you use is shank and shoulder for burger, it's not going to be great burger.
Preach that shit, Brody.
You
Do
want,
any of you eat your wild game brains?
No.
that was from Peter.
No.
But they want to know why not. Peter wants to know why not.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
It's like no one's ever come to me and been like, hey, this is a good idea. It's delicious. You should prepare it this way. Like I just, you hear of some tribe
There's
somewhere
also-
eating some brains every now and then.
There's also like, and I don't want to be like scaring like people for no reason. There's also like disease concerns with eating some brains of some animals, like CWD collects in the nervous system and brain. Remember that? Wasn't there some rumor flying around about eating squirrel brains one time? Yeah,
That's right.
So yeah, I just don't do it.
See, here's an example of one that I'm not sure. Brody, I want your take since you always give an honest
I pulled you
response
back
to
in
things.
here.
You pulled me back in. Gabriel asks, put in for my first draw hunt in southern Indiana and drew a bow tag for middle of October. It's a unit that he can't get into beforehand to scout. He has 2 days to hunt. Any advice or pointers?
I think this is not a question for me because it's like a white-tailed bow archery hunting question, so I'll pass it off to Janis.
And I can't get into beforehand so there's no scouting and he has to
No
literally
scouting.
just roll in and
Roll
hunt.
in.
The cold roll.
Playing it
Yeah,
by ear.
a lot of people say that October is the time for afternoon hunts. Going on that notion, and whether that was the case or not, I would spend at least the first half of the first day, maybe more, maybe 3/4 of that day, just pounding the ground and looking for sign and learning those woods and trying to figure it out. I'm guessing sounds like it's a good tag to have if it's so limited. So maybe there's not a lot of pressure. I think that you pounding around and trying to figure it out for 3/4 of a day that just then leaves you like an evening hunt and then possibly, a morning and an evening the next day. That is time better spent than just going in there off of a little bit of, not that you should definitely do a whole bunch of onyx scouting.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Ahead of time, but you can't rely and don't be like, that's going to be the perfect saddle. You just don't know. You got to go there and
Yeah.
look. You should find out, maybe call down there and see what the acorn crop is like this
Sure.
year. Like in Wisconsin this year, we have a booner crop. But find out what's going on down there for feed ahead of time. That'll, educate on where you need to go, what you need to do. But I think my number one thing would do was just be to take the time on the ground the first day and pound the ground. Find the sign, and you don't have to find rubs and scrapes and all that. Find some good-looking deer trails that look recently used. Find fresh scat. I think that you're going to be well on your way.
One thing I would add, even though this isn't my type of hunt, but if this guy is talking public land, I'd be looking on Onyx for something that presents difficult access for a lot of other hunters.
Sure.
Got to hike over ridge.
But the difficult access might
creek.
have already been overcome or been sort of presented through this draw of a tag or whatever.
Maybe.
You know?
It's Indiana, so there seems like there's going to be hunters, you know.
True. Good luck, Gabriel.
Let's do
All right,
one.
last one. Phil.
Last one here. This one's for Randall. if they could. OH.
I-O.
I cannot support that as a Penn State fan.
Thank you all for listening and
gone.
watching at home. Hope you enjoyed this episode of MeatEater Radio Live. Who's hosting next week? Is it one of you?
I'm hosting.
Randall's
I'll be
hosting
joined
next
by
week.
Cal and Seth.
Hey.
Hey, that sounds like a banger of an
Oh,
episode.
it's going to be real fun.
Tune in. They're going to choose the winner of the Moultrie big bull trail camera
You
photo
at home
contest.
will be choosing the winner.
That's right.
Okay, but
That's
you
right.
guys
But
are
you
gonna
have to be watching live to vote.
Yep.
Okay, Randall's going to present. We're going to choose the top 4. Randall's going to present the top 4. And to leave you, one more time, let's listen to Randall's, one of his favorite sounds. Till next time.